Man, look at how kind of beautiful Albuquerque looks from up here. No bums, no drama. It's just peaceful. There's two things New Mexico's known for. Well, okay, three. Drugs. But they love chile and hot air balloons. There's very few major cities in the U.S. that we hadn't been to yet. So coming to Albuquerque was pretty exciting. And Kim and I would be discovering it along with you. And there was a lot to see. You'll see.
Well, rain falls down on a piece of stone. Sooner or later, the stone be gone. River carve out the canyon every time. And a snowflake falls all by itself. Don't count for much. Give it some help. Cover up any mountain you might climb. If you wanna change the world, forget about the Big Bang. You can change the world, just begin with the little things.
And there's Albuquerque, we made it. It only took 2 weeks to get here. Okay, everyone, we were gonna do the beginning of this video from downtown behind me, but they're going through a super bad wind event right here. It's a red flag warning, and it's just super dusty and really bad for wind right now. So we're doing it from our hotel balcony. Now, we've been to every major city in the country at this point, and we've gone out of our way to see the worst places in America. And that brings me to this dispatch from Albuquerque, New Mexico, down there behind me. The last big city and the last worst place. Now, we're coming into Albuquerque with an open mind because we've heard all the bad things about the place like you have. But it can't be that bad, can it? I mean, it's not California. But what is it like here in this strange land? How do these people live? What is it all about here in Albuquerque, New Mexico? Well, we're going to go down there and we're going to find out right now. Just got to Albuquerque 2 minutes ago, and our first bum. First of all, you guys want to see bad stuff. I know you. So I'm going to start with that. So in a previous dispatch, I showed you the real streets of this place. Now, I'm not going to show much of it again, but it caused a big stir. The local news covered it. It was all over Twitter. Everybody who lives here agreed with me. They said, Nick, you're right. Albuquerque's out of control. And the reason? It's because of the liberals that are in charge. That's what they said. I didn't say that. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Holy sh! Oh, this is hopping. Oh, I'm going down Indiana Avenue. Holy crap. Now, these people right here, they're way too far gone. You can't save them. All we can do is hope that all the young people that watch this never want to live their lives this way. Holy crap. Oh my God, somebody's got like a knife out. What the? I mean, I saw a machete. Somebody was holding a machete. Look at this. Somebody was holding a machete up to somebody that was overdosed. Like up to their neck back there. And then this guy is just out. Now all over Albuquerque, there's homeless and junkies and thieves wandering around. A lot of people I talked to said, it's so much worse these days. And you know what? There's nobody trying to stop it either. And I believe it. Because they're a sanctuary city. And there's no mental hospitals left here anymore. Other states send these people here because Albuquerque says, we'll take care of them. And then they get here and they get neglected. They're left out on the streets just like this. The border's a big part of the problem too. They think there's more than 50,000 undocumented illegal aliens in the state of New Mexico. And most of them are right here in the Albuquerque area. Somebody call Tom Homan, right? They call it Albuquerque. Some people told me We live in Ciudad Juarez North, Nick. But you need to watch that video when you're done with this one. It has all the deets. Wait, Tonka, let him go through. Downtown Albuquerque. What a funny name for a place, huh? Well, Spanish named it after a place back home. There's a little town in Spain with the same name. We're 5,000 feet above sea level. It's one of the highest elevations of any major U.S. city. Okay, so right now we're in downtown Albuquerque. The wind's let up a little bit. It's still pretty gusty, as you can see. Downtown's kind of basic. There's really not a lot going on. A few bars and restaurants, a little bit of shopping. This is Central Avenue, which is the nicest part of downtown. It's actually not bad. There's not a lot of sketchy on the north and south sides of towns. There's some homeless stuff and whatever, but they do a decent job. This is a pretty clean downtown. What we're on right now is pretty much what used to be the old Camino Real that went from Mexico City all the way up to Santa Fe. Well, it's way bigger than that now. Back then it was just a little outpost. They think there's almost 600,000 people here now. And the population kind of peaked because the cost of living's going up. They're building pretty much everywhere in town. And population was shooting up, but now that the cost of living has kind of really caught up with the rest of the country, they're building a lot of houses, but the population is kind of plateaued here because it's just getting as expensive here as it is everywhere else. Yeah, there you go, downtown. All right. It's about average here for income. There's really poor parts of town, but overall it seems to be kind of middle classy. It's very Democrat here, though. 60% of the people here voted for Kamala in the last election. Ugh. But it's a big city. That's not surprising. Almost half the state's entire population lives in the Albuquerque metro area. Almost 1 million people. You might be surprised. There's some great jobs here in science and tech and national defense. And the University of New Mexico is here. Northrop Grumman is here. Microsoft was founded here. I know, right? It's not very diverse. About half the population is Hispanic and 40% is white. And that makes for some good food. I'll show you that later. You know I will. So you can look at this map and you can see where everybody lives and what it's like here. And we're going to go up here first to the rich side. Fancy pants land. Can't even see the houses. They blend in. They all look like part of the land. I think that's the point. This is Sandia Heights. It's way up against the hillsides on the east side of town. Maybe 15, 20 miles east of downtown. It's very nice up here, isn't it? You probably weren't expecting this. I know. These are all the people that worked very hard their whole lives, so they can be as far away as possible from all the terrible things I showed you earlier. You're probably thinking, Nick, these houses look very expensive. Well, most of this is in the $800K range. I know. It says a lot about the cost of living here when the most expensive neighborhood is just about the same price as a regular house in California. There aren't a lot of affordable places to live anywhere out west these days. People flooded Arizona and Colorado and Utah and Texas. Now they're starting to move here. Now the part a lot of you guys are into. This is what the bad side of town looks like. It's pretty close to the international zone that I showed you earlier. Looks like where I'm from. Lower middle class mostly. A lot of this stuff's between 250 and 350K, but most of these people likely rent. There's a lot of crime in here. It's just sad. Part of the problem is lenient judges. Catch and release? Anyone? Car insurance in Albuquerque is really high because of all the stolen cars in town. Oh, there's a rainbow. Look at that. A rainbow over the ghetto. Most Albuquerque looks like this, though. Medium people land. The architecture here, I mean, a lot of these neighborhoods just look like all the same. This adobe looking stuff. Kind of looks like where I grew up, but the houses look like they're made by Indians. If you like what you see, I can help you find a realtor. Email me. Get out of LA while you still can.
Wow. So, yeah, if you went to the East Central corridor, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a shithole mess over there. It is out of control. How do you address what you see? It's almost like you're in a third world country, right? I once described the difference between the downtown corridor the central corridor. We used to call it the war zone here, but that was not politically correct, so it was changed to the international zone. You can call it what you want, right? But comparing that to where I live and work and have a business, Old Town, I said that's Fallujah versus this is Mayberry, right? And what do we do to protect where we're at, not to let it turn into that? And I think it's just constant pressure on the criminal element. If you drove through there, and I'm sure you did, you probably saw broad daylight lawlessness, right? Like you probably think to yourself, how could someone do this? Can you really? You're just tripping on fentanyl. And you're standing in the middle of the road like a zombie, or prostitution or whatnot. Again, every major city has it, but I think there's an acceptance rate here that's just intolerable. And I think that there's been efforts to police that. It needs to be stepped up. But also, too, there needs to be an outlet for the folks that are doing this to get some help. And I don't mean like touchy-feely treatment. That's a big part of it, but I don't think she get a free ride. So the folks out there, if they want a voucher to stay in a hotel, if they want to ride the public transit system, which is free to everybody now, do something. Pick up some trash, do something. Just don't stand on the corner and beg for money. And I've seen it time and time again, because I own a business up there, is a lot of those folks are so reliant on the narcotics they're taking that they'll get money from people and then buy drugs with it right after that. And I think a lot of folks don't understand that. You give them bottles of water and food is one thing, and maybe they're hungry and thirsty, and I completely understand that. But there's also, when you were giving out money, whether it's $1 or whatnot, it's $3-4 to get a fentanyl pill, right? So it doesn't take much, and then they get high again. And I would say probably 90% are high. Plus, there's this issue of mental illness that runs right through that whole community, which is sad. But there's true homeless people, I think, that obviously need help, and then there's ones that just can't help themselves because they're either mentally ill or hooked on something. And it's pretty shocking. So what needs to change, I suppose, is more resources to help those folks, but also, too, they need to realize that they can't continue to operate the way they do. I think because we're so closely situated to the border, right? There's the whether it's heroin or fentanyl or methamphetamine, it's a lot easier to get it here. It's cheaper than it probably is on the East Coast. The availability of being able to get it is a lot more accessible. So I think that is a problem. But I think that's probably the biggest issue, just the closeness to Mexico, the cartel, experience that we have here. I don't wake up every day worried about the cartel. So I don't. That's mostly for people that run in those circles. They should be worried. I get it, but you'd be a fool if you didn't think that they had a footprint in a lot of these border states and out and forward. So, yeah.
And up ahead is the Breaking Bad house that has a gate and cones, and
my goodness.
Clearly this is a tourist attraction because I don't know if anybody lives there. There's a bunch of people out here. I don't know if that cop car has anything to do with it. Can you stop right here?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people for years have been coming up here. People used to throw pizzas on the roof, and I'm sure these neighbors are not happy about the fact that they live next to this house. Or maybe they are, I don't know. But that's the house from Breaking Bad. Some modifications and alterations, and everybody's out here doing their TikToks, doing their stuff. Take your pictures from across the street, do not disturb.
No.
Do you hate having people come here all the time and take pictures? He didn't even answer. Yes.
I think no answer is an answer.
Yeah, that guy was like, shut up. This lady just probably can't stand it. Just can't stand it at all. You can see the look on her face. Breaking Bad store. There's more people in the Breaking Bad store than all the other stores I saw down here. Breaking Bad's a huge deal here. People come from all over the world to see parts of town that were featured in the TV show and to buy things. Now, I just learned that Breaking Bad was originally supposed to be shot in Riverside County, about 20 minutes from where I grew up. Well, that doesn't surprise me. But it was less expensive to shoot in New Mexico, so they based it here.
What is happening? Why are they... What?
Why are you taking pictures of me taking pictures of you? This place is clearly famous.
Oh, is this part of Breaking Bad?
Oh, I think it is. That's why everyone's taking pictures. Candy lady, and they have the Breaking Bad candy. Oh, there it is.
I don't think you're supposed to touch that.
Oops.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
And I got some right here.
I tried some ice like that. It makes you loco, essay.
Maybe this is candy, not drugs. Why are you trying to act all hard?
Don't front me none of that crystal, fool. I play chalk for keeps. Don't be speeding up my Scooby snacks without me.
Dang, Mappy, you've changed. Did Albuquerque get to you too? That makes me sad. Well, I came in here looking for a bolo tie in Old Town, and I came across some of the coolest shirts I think I've ever seen. Oh my goodness.
Alright, start talking.
All right.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, we are in Old Town. It's pretty much the best neighborhood in Albuquerque. Behind me are old buildings that have been here since 300 years. Pioneers, Indians, cowboys, shoot 'em up stuff, all kinds of stuff that's gone on here in Old Town. And today it's mostly tourist stuff where you can buy pottery and t-shirts and lots of shot glasses and Breaking Bad stuff. It's pretty clean down here. There's not a lot of BS. There's not a lot of homeless stuff. It's just a nice, quiet place to kind of hang out. And it's haunted too. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. So we spent a total of 6 nights in Old Town, kind of coming and going back and forth into Albuquerque during the trip. We were in New Mexico for an entire month. We might be the only people to ever come to New Mexico for a month. We're definitely the only people to ever come to Albuquerque for an entire week. I talked to a lot of people in Old Town, and they told me that they've really done a good job of cleaning this part of town up. They ran all the bad people out and tried to keep it nice for all the tourists. Well, good for them. They got to have at least one nice part of town, right? A guy that runs one of these art places told me that Albuquerque is the 3rd biggest art scene in the world. I don't know if I believe him, but that's what he told me. Hey, that's not nice. It is. How do you even choose? And is this stuff even real? Big Pokemon raid. All the Pokemon people are out here looking for Pokemon. Everybody was Pokemoning that day. The tourists were. The bridal party, they were Pokemoning. The quinceañeras were. The Amish people were playing. Even the Polaroid pictures guy was Pokemoning. A lot of Old Town Albuquerque is just cheap tourist crap from China. All the pottery you could want. The Rattlesnake Museum. Let's go inside.
Cut me down to Donald's place very quick, and then he took over and drove me down to the hospital.
This one lives where I live. Oh my God.
The venom molecules have now passed into the blood. Without treatment, you will die.
Somebody told us that on Sundays, all the old school car guys come down here and park and hang out. That's cool. When we were in Old Town, we stayed in a bunch of cool places. One of them was at my buddy Pete's loft, right here, right in the heart of Old Town. Look at this loft. Right in downtown Old Town. You got the Old Town right out your window. One night, we stayed at my friend Marie's condo in Old Town. Check this place out. Our friend Marie owns the place, and oh my goodness, look at this awesome condo right in Old Town. This might be the best place to stay in Old Town. Oh my gosh, look at this kitchen. I wish we were here for more than a night. Oh my gosh! Day here in Albuquerque, and the wind is fierce. Well, we're just gonna have to do our best in these windy conditions. There's downtown, you can see dust and dirt, whatever, all over the, whoa, big gusts of 25, 30, 40 miles an hour. Woo! That's so New Mexico. It's a red flag warning of the year. Oh my God, is it windy and dusty here in Albuquerque today. God. Look at my hands from 3 weeks in the desert out here. God, I look like I have 80-year-old hands. So, I'm gonna get O'Keeffe's working hands from Walgreens. And no, they did not pay me to say that. I wish they did. I've talked about the food a lot in this series so far, but Albuquerque has some really, really good food. If I lived here, I'd be a taco head. All right, YouTube, we got off the balloon. It was a very interesting and fun and crazy experience. We had to get up we're supposed to get up at 4:45. I got up at 3 in the morning because I'm not sleeping correctly. Anyway, everybody's told us in town that we needed to go to Rio Tacos, and it's a half a mile from the balloon landing spot. Thanks to the folks at Rainbow Riders, and they give you some champagne when you land, and we had plenty of champagne, so a little buzz. It's about 9 in the morning here in Albuquerque on a Saturday morning, and we're gonna get some Rio Tacos for breakfast.
Getting my taco fix.
He's from LA, so Tapatio, no red or green. Rio Tacos, look at that for breakfast on a Saturday. Doesn't get any better. And that's Fernando, the owner. He's from LA, so he knows what he's doing.
So the food that I'm familiar with most is the region of Sinaloa, Sonora, and my wife is from Manzanillo, Colima. So we do a little mixture of all that. So we're trying to bring that flavor into New Mexico, and that's why we've been mostly successful here because people notice that authentic Mexican flavor. And we needed a bigger home, so my cousin told me, hey, come and visit us. It's really nice out here. And we did. We came to visit us on a May of 2020, and I loved it so much that that same year I was here with the biggest U-Haul full of all my stuff in August. So from May to August, I made that decision to bring my family, and it's been the best thing I've ever done because now after 4 years, we started our own restaurant.
What do you love about Albuquerque versus LA?
Well, Albuquerque, the first thing I noticed was the sky. The sky was incredibly beautiful. I could not believe the clouds. The sunset is beautiful. The air was amazing. The only thing we had to get used to was the brownness.
Yum. I can't remember who told us to go into Little Anita's in Old Town, but good Lord, worst Mexican restaurant in the world. Now that might not be nice, but it's true. I think so anyways.
This is cold.
It is? Cold. Bad. Not yum. Ugh.
That's kind of messed up. You're like beer, Kim, creepy doll.
Oh my god, it's kind of hard to eat with that thing staring at me. And are they handmade here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the sopapillas are amazing.
Can't, they go bad in like an hour.
Yeah, thank you so much. El Modelo! I wanted that so bad, but they said it was going to be like an hour to wait. It's probably worth it, but I bet. All right, here we go. Everybody told us we needed to go to El Paisa, so here we are. We were introduced to the best restaurant I've ever been to. Best food in the world. Oh my gosh, just like back home. Oh my god, talk about maybe the best food, not only in Albuquerque, but in the whole state. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Well, this might be the best tacos in the entire world. I am not kidding. I wish this was near where I lived.
I know, we're going to be very sad when we have to leave here.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my life will never be the same. Most of the tourists that are in town, they go to a big food court called the Sawmill. They have everything you need. Beer, hot Cheetos, big bowls of ramen stuff, sushi, chicken and waffles. What? Everybody told me, you need to go to Nob Hill, Nick. It's one of our nicer neighborhoods here. So we went by there. It's kind of on the edge of where all the homeless people are at, just east of downtown. It's a lot of younger hipster types that hang out in Nob Hill. There's trashy people too, but I think they push them further east. Gotta have at least one nice neighborhood. All right, we're coming up on, here we go, Tingley Beach. This is like a little park. This is really all they have for water around here. The Rio Grande is over there, but nobody ever goes in there. And I think people just come down here and walk around. I don't think anybody gets in this water. I wouldn't get in this water. But they have a little area to hang out in that's doesn't have tents or weirdos. Downtown at night. It's pretty uneventful. It's pretty boring. If you come to Albuquerque, stay in Old Town. Don't stay in downtown. Oh, we got a fire in Albuquerque. Uh-oh. One day we got up and it actually rained. I know. Everybody was like, it never rains here, Nick. Oh my God, the first and probably only time we're gonna get rain on this entire trip. Now talk to me about Albuquerque. How has Albuquerque changed? It kind of has a reputation.
Breaking Bad?
That's not the only reputation it has.
Well, I will tell you, when I was in Ireland a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years now, everyone wanted to talk about Breaking Bad. Everyone was in love with Breaking Bad. And I said, it's exactly like that. I said, we're a bunch of bloodthirsty. We all got automatic weapons. Yeah, but that's not the case of Albuquerque. It's small as far as big cities go, but there's almost everything you really need as far as if you want a big city. If you don't want the big city, there's a national wilderness area on National Forest right on the edge of town. I mean, the city stops and the wilderness area begins. So you're literally 10 minutes from a wilderness.
Like I said, please fill all available space. We just need everyone who's in the lobby out on this dock.
Basic history about this tram. It was built in 1966. It took about 2 years. At the time, it was only $2 million. In today's money, that's $20 million, so that's quite a big difference.
Is it moving or is it me?
I got it. Fancy and expensive, but worth it. There it is at night. It looks so beautiful. Can't even tell there's ghetto down there. Can't even smell the crack burning. Of course, when you're in town, you got to do the Albuquerque ghost tour. One night, we hung out with my friends Julia and Misty, who run ABQ tours. They showed us everything. So Julia, why does New Mexico have so much energy and history and hauntings and ghosts and alien stuff, and why here?
I think people always talk about the energy of New Mexico, the feel, that you can actually feel. There's the Taos hum, there's energy. And I think it just feels old. You know, people have literally lived and died in this area for thousands of years. And I think that that's what we're feeling. And that's actually where one of our most popular ghosts is, or at least it's the ghost that everybody wants to see. Saturday night on the plaza, everything's winding down about 10 p.m. You look up on the balcony there and they clearly see a naked woman. And Mary's like, what are you talking about? And he said the ghost. Okay, whoever's here, she's angry. You need to go talk with her. And they believe it is the ghost of Sarah Ruiz. And Sarah Ruiz was a curandera. Many people think that means witch, but it's actually kind of more of a healer. People have often seen Sarah. They see her in the front sweeping or in the back patio area. When you're done, come over here.
Nothing. I never get to see anything. Then you air up the balloon. You know how this goes.
Get perspective with that balloon.
Anybody's doing any home shopping while you're in town, now's the time to see what kind of house to look at.
As I get
You can see houses
perspective.
come in every color you'd like, as long as it's brown.
Why is this area so good for weather air ballooning?
So what makes Albuquerque so popular for hot air ballooning is our weather. We get about 300 to 330 days a year that are flyable. And another very unique feature that we get here is what we call the Albuquerque box. We have a little bit of that in play this morning, where the surface winds are traveling down this valley, much like a river flows downhill, where you get the wind coming from the north to the south, and then above that, the prevailing winds back from the south to the north. So you can take off and land in the same place when that happens. We won't be doing that this morning, just because of congestion and lack of landing sites, but that's what makes Albuquerque good for ballooning, is truly just the weather. More flyable days here than anywhere else in the country.
There we go.
Hey Alfred, what's your track right there? 178. Thank you.
Here I am coming in for a landing. Somebody's filming us from the ground. And another successful flight in Albuquerque.
Rainbow Riders.
Great, thanks, Rainbow Riders. So it was our last morning here, and the weather got better. It wasn't raining, it wasn't windy, so the balloons were out again. That was us 6 days ago, and now other people are getting their first flights above the city. Good for them. So we kind of liked Albuquerque, even after a whole week here. I mean, I don't love it. If I lived here, I'd probably want to leave, only because I grew up near Los Angeles, and it kind of feels like LA here. It's dry, it's raw, it's gritty. I can say everybody we met was really nice. The opposite of LA. Nobody in LA is nice. If you're young, there's lots to do here. There's lots of places to meet people and hang out. If you're old, you could definitely retire here. I think it's better here than a lot of the places I've been to that are trashed. And of course, there's a small percentage of the population here that's trying to ruin it for everyone else. I think you should come. I think you should check it out. The culture's great. There's a lot to see, a lot of history, a lot of art, and of course the food. But Albuquerque doesn't shout. It murmurs. It's unpredictable. It can be scary down here, but there's danger up there too.
But basically, we're responsible for ourselves.
Yeah.
And if you treat everyone like you want to be treated, then everyone benefits. And if you take care of a little piece of land and you take care of your family and you raise your kids right, you teach them when they're young, those things all turn into nice things. Well, rain falls down on a piece of stone. Sooner or later, the stone be gone. River carve out the canyon every time. And a snowflake falls all by itself, don't count for much. Give it some help, cover up any mountain. you might climb. If you wanna change the world, forget about the Big Bang. You can change the world, just begin with the little things. Whole world spins around the little things. Hands on a clock go around tick-tock. You look at them close, you swear they've stopped. Seconds add up to a lifetime as they go around. Child grows a little every day. Which one it was, it's hard to say. One time you look at them and they've grown. If you wanna change the world, forget about the Big Bang. You can change the world, just begin with the little things. Whole world spins around the little things. The little tiny things. In New Mexico, it's little things, the little things. Bueno.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sure, sure.
That was really good.